Cancer, hi, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm your host, Tina. Today we are going to be doing your weekly tarot. This one will be for February 15th to the 21st. Hope you guys are doing okay. Let's see what's happening for you this week. We're going to take a look, like always, we're going to take a look at the recent past, definitely the current energies that you're facing and navigating, and then the near future, what is coming towards you. I do pull two layers. The first one will give us a general idea of what's happening, and then we will go in and clarify with a second layer. I also pre-shuffle, but I like to do that here with you on camera. Lets me tune into your energies a bit more. I'm not stopping there, but I do see the Two of Swords, Knight of Swords, Ten of Swords. There's a lot of sword energy, but let's see. I chose not to stop there, so. Eight of Cups. Wow. What's going on here? Okay, we're going to stop here now. Two of Pentacles at the bottom. Indecision. Boom. Situation, death. Right out. Okay. Nine of Swords came out. Recent past. Ooh. Overall energy, though, is the Fool, Cancer. Wow. Page of Swords was in the recent past. Two of Pentacles is at the bottom. I just feel like you're weighing your options. And I don't think this is anything new. I think you've been weighing your options for some time here. Recent past, we have the Page of Swords. You know, this is you learning something, right? Discovering something. Something became a bit clearer to you. Even if you weren't confused, it added an element of clarity to your thinking, right? Like it could have been something you didn't see, you couldn't foresee, or something that you were just trying to get to the bottom of, but it doesn't matter. You've got more information now in the recent past than you had before. Is basically you learned something, you discovered something, and that certainly changed things for you. Like it really just changed things for you. Death is the situation here, so I just feel something here has been completely outgrown, Cancer. That's why the overall energy is the Fool as well, right? We also got Temperance here. So these are three major arcanas. You know, Temperance is your approach, but it speaks of having a deeper understanding. And like I said, I just feel very strongly that you learned something you really did not like here. Something that really, I don't know, it just feels like it threw your energy off. It threw you into it could have really absorbed you and taken over your mind for some of you. At the very least, there's an element of stress and anxiety around it. But I do feel really for the majority of you, it's a big change here. It's like whatever you learn, it's like you can't unlearn it, right? There's no going back type of energy. All right, death is the situation. Can be an ending here, definitely. But again, it just feels like something is genuinely outgrown here, Cancer. And it led to this, right? I mean, I think you were on this path anyway, but whatever you learned could have just what's the word? It could have been a catalyst for this ending. It was going to happen anyway, but this just kind of sped things up here. In the challenge position, we have the Four of Cups. You know, the Four of Cups speaks of it's an energy of kind of being over it, right? But I feel like there's a sense of kind of being closed off to opportunities here, not liking what's in front of you either with the Four of Cups, just kind of really you're not motivated by what is in front of you right now. And it's a bit of a challenge. And even in this card, this card shows the challenge in picture form. So you see this guy's looking at these cups, he's not excited, he's whatever. And then with that kind of energy that he's having, there's this hand, a cloud that's trying to offer some opportunity here, but he's not even noticing it because he's fixated here on what he's not liking, what's going wrong, you know, that kind of energy. With where your mind is at, we have the Seven of Swords, and it's a lot of strategy. I can say that. I think for a lot of you, though, it's really you figuring out a strategy, how to leave a situation here pretty quickly. You know, the Seven of Swords is really that kind of energy. This card's this guy's basically trying to get away with these swords, even leaving two behind. And it's to indicate willing to cut your losses, right? You're all right, I can't take everything with me, but making that strategy, having that mental strength, is a very strategic energy right now with where your mind is at. Your approach is Temperance, beautiful energy. It's like being patient though, right? Temperance is about having a deeper understanding. We get deeper understandings after we go through something pretty heavy sometimes, something that really changes us. But it's a card about like taking a moderate approach. You're not trying to be extreme right now. You're taking a middle path and you're being super patient. Beautiful energy in your approach here. I love the energy of temperance. In the environment, that's, we have that 9 of Swords energy. So there's just something here that's like in the environment. Can be somebody, but it's a situation here that's just like, that's where that stress and, could be keeping you up at night with the 9 of Swords. Just like really just not allowing you to think clearly, to be in the present moment either, right? There's this inability to be in the present moment because whatever's happened here is just bringing you back, right? It just keeps circling you back. Coming toward you, though, is the beautiful 10 of Pentacles. I love this card. Yeah, it's a card about family. Yes, it's a card about tradition. It's a card about wealth. Wealth has different meanings, as does family. Family doesn't have to be blood kin, right? It's the people you see as family. But what the 10 of Pentacles really indicates is your investments over time paying off, right? That's where you get the generations in it. That's where you get the wealth. So it's really a card of your investments paying off. And it's to say that I think things will kind of feel good in the near future, especially with the 10 of Pentacles coming towards you, Cancer. Oh, Ace of Cups is at the bottom of this deck that we're going to clarify with. So let's go ahead and clarify these energies for you. But the Fool, like ready for a new beginning. Not necessarily having stepped into it, but it's like there's an energy of like a total new journey that you're about to embark on with the Fool. Let's see here. The Fool is the only card numbered 0. It's a card of like infinite possibilities, infinite potential, it's raw with potential and possibility. All right, let's see, Cancer, clarify these. We're going to stop here. Ace of Pentacles is at the bottom. Clarifying death is the Fool. And we got the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. The Fool fell twice here. So there is just such an element of like ending and beginning. Like you're in that place of literal like death and birth, right? Is what it feels like. Let's see. Ace of Pentacles is at the bottom. Recent past, we have the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. That's a lot of mental energy, This is just, could have been a decision that was made here, definitely with the King of Swords. There's an element of justice to it, of kind of karma, but being very like intellectual, being very logical about a situation. Like there's no cups here. Actually, there are a few cups in your spread, but there's really no cups here, especially in this middle row. There's a lot of swords, and then there's Death, the Fool, and the Magician. Even with the Magician being in your environment, I don't know, it's usually, the Magician is usually a very positive card, right? It's also a card of new beginnings here, and that could be just kind of what's stressing you out, is the death. Maybe it's the ending of a situation, but it's more so like what stresses you is the beginning of a new one, right? Like what will it take? What will I have? Where will I end up? What will it be? And that can lead to a little bit of fear, right? That fear of the unknown. But the unknown is the only place where you can actually create new things, right? And that's the beauty behind the unknown. But yeah, in the recent past, we have the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. You could have been dealing with an air sign, let me mention. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, but obviously for me, you just learned something, you discovered something. And if there was any fog in your mind, I feel like the clarity has come through. It gave you information that it literally just kept things moving. It changed things. And I see movement here. I see a lot of movement here. And major beginning, major ending here, energetically at least. The Fool and Death, new beginning and an ending here. That's the energy. Death is always an upgrade. It's really just a transmutation. It's about letting go of an old way of being, an older version of ourselves, right? You've outgrown it, meaning it's not even serving you anymore, and you know it. It can be uncomfortable because we find comfort in the familiar, right? We really do. But there's an element here that just, it cannot be ignored, right? As uncomfortable as it is, the idea of something new or something being outdated, I think, has a stronger energy and a stronger pull for you this week than the ending does. But it's still not easy. In the challenge position, we also have the Six of Swords clarifying that Four of Cups. Yeah, I just think it's about, like, honestly seeing what you do have in front of you, seeing what is working for you. Kind of like a little sense of gratitude here. And with the Six of Swords, just knowing that it's like, it's kind of time to move on. And I think you do know, honestly. I really do. I think you do know with the Six of Swords. I just think it's not easy is what it really feels like. It's just not easy. But there is something new that's trying to come in. There are blessings that are trying to come through, especially with the Fool being here twice. There's a brand new beginning here. You know, you're just at the very beginning edge of it. So you have no idea what could actually grow from this. On your mind, we have the Knight of Cups clarifying the Seven of Swords. You know, I don't know, maybe it's about sending a message here. All Knights really indicate taking action and making progress in a situation. So with the Knight of Cups, I know maybe you're even thinking that you need like a little bit of lightheartedness and fun, a little injection of that in your life this week with the Knight of Cups. But the Knight of Cups is like a Romeo type of energy, right? And maybe you felt like somebody was deceptive here. You know, there is a little sense of that in your reading. Even with that Seven of Swords, it can be a card of like deception a little bit, like maybe like a sneaky behavior behind your back, right? And with the Knight of Cups, he's not the Queen of Cups, he's not the King of Cups, right? He's that Romeo, right? Who's like just like in love with love, right? Very charming, very charismatic. And there's something about that energy that I feel like you may not be loving this week. But either way, you're ready to make progress. That's what's on your mind, honestly, is making progress. And then that being said, your approach here is the Knight of Pentacles. It's also about making progress. It could be about laying the foundations of something new, you know, thinking about the work that lies ahead. But there's a very patient energy in your approach. Because Temperance absolutely represents patience. The Knight of Pentacles is also the slowest moving knight. So there's a degree of patience with that as well. But what I love about the Knight of Pentacles energy, while it might be slow, and that can be a little frustrating, though I don't see that for you. I don't see that you're in a rush here at all. I just see that, like, what's great about it is that whatever the Knight of Pentacles builds, I always say, is built to last. So it's a very patient, dedicated, committed approach on your end. And there's no extremes here. No extremes here. In your environment, clarifying that Nine of Swords is the Magician. You know, the Magician is a card about like raw, just like the Fool, raw potential, raw possibility here. You know, bringing an idea that you have and bringing it to life, right? Taking the idea that you have in your mind and literally breathing life into it. And so there's something about that that could be stressing you. But I do feel for some of you, when I just look across, it just could have felt like manipulative behavior. For some of you, you know, take what resonates. Coming towards you, we have the Ten of Pentacles clarified by the Three of Cups. You know, the Three of Cups is definitely people coming together. And yeah, it's a card of celebration. But what is celebration, right? It's people coming together with the same emotion in mind, right? And kind of sharing an emotion together. And so there's like a collaborative emotional energy. Like you guys are basically on the same wavelength here. So it can be a reunion, there can be a celebration here, but you're basically with like-minded energy, like-minded souls, right? And your energy, especially emotionally, is shared. It's on the same wavelength. So it's just feeling like when you're around people like that, you feel very supported. Very supported. You feel understood. You feel heard. You know, you feel validated. So it's really beautiful energy that's coming towards you. So I feel very positive energy. For the overall energy, clarifying the Fool, we got the Queen of Pentacles. There's a very nurturing energy for something here. I feel like there's something on your mind. There's some new beginning here. And with that Queen of Pentacles, she's very nurturing. Very nurturing. But new beginning is like the Fool fell twice. It's the only card numbered 0. So I feel like whatever new direction this is, yes, you're going to have support. You're going to be surrounded by people who can see you, Cancer. but I just feel like there's so much possibility that you may not even be aware of it. All right, I am going to leave it there for you. I do hope you enjoyed this reading. Of course, if anything resonates, like and subscribe. Thank you, Cancer, for letting me tune into your energies, and I'll see you all next week.